What's up, everybody? Good morning. That's right, all the early birds, all the night owls, all the humming pigeons, whatever you want to call yourselves. We are back with another live episode. So today was a pretty decent day today. We have the Red Sox with a doubleheader. A doubleheader today. Yesterday's game got rained out. We were winning 2-1 before the rain came. But it looks like we got the job done in the first game, so that's always a good sign. And if you missed the first episode, I know it's a little tough to hear, but if you put on the closed caption, it would be so much better for you. And I'm working on my microphone, so bear with me. So let's get into all the shenanigans. Red Sox 5, the Reds 3. Now it's going to be real hard saying these two names because Reds and Red Sox, you got to mistake one for the other eventually. But it's a pretty decent game for the first game. Now, I'm going to point out right away, if you look here, home run column, there were no home runs from the Red Sox in that game. But we still got the job done and won the game 5-3. So who had RBIs? We had Roman Anthony with an RBI. We had Carlos Nevarez with 2 RBIs. We had William Abreu. He is on fire as of late. And we're going to talk about William Abreu. You know what? We're going to get into some player stats. You know, but I don't want to go too far ahead. So let's just bear with me for the moment. Alright, so we got William Abreu, got his RBI here. And we got Trevor Story. We got Marcelo. He didn't really have a productive day. Went 0-3. David Hamilton. So it looks like that bottom lineup, that's where we're struggling at. Well, at least for that game. I don't know about the stats for the next game, but we're going to take a look at that. Right, so we got Brian Bayo. I think he picked up from where he left off yesterday. He finished 5 strong innings. He had 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. I think his earned run average is 350 or 360, which isn't too bad. You know, I'm gonna look into the league averages in a minute. Let's gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna see the league average and who's producing and who's not. But for now, let's see the pitching. We got Bale, then we have Aroldis Chapman. I think he got his another save today. Shout out to Aroldis Chapman. Yes, we're looking good. We had 4 strikeouts at the pitching unit, but no home runs. Now, let me emphasize this fact because I think on the first episode, if I'm not mistaken, I kind of called out the Red Sox. I kind of called them out. And with that said, I specifically said that this team it's just like we're just swinging for the fences on every single play. There's no type of small ball. There's no advancing the runner. There's no sacrifice flies. There's none of that. But this game, this specific game, this is where this team got it done. Sacrifice flies. See, the thing about home runs are amazing to watch. Let me not downplay home runs. But you're not going to... Well, there's a home run hit every single day or every single game played, but that's not the only way to score. You have a runner on third, and you're swinging for the fences. Okay, you get a nice solid hit. You get some nice exit velo, and the ball ends up into the outfielder's glove. The inning's over. Okay, that's a bad scenario. What if there's about 1 out? And there's a runner on third or a runner on second. And then that same scenario happens. And guess what? The run scores. You get credited with an RBI. Now, is it as exciting as a home run? No. But we are not here. I mean, You want to see excitement. You want to see big plays. But for this Red Sox team, we just need to get the job done. And for the first game in a doubleheader, I'm not going to lie, they got the job done. Now, with that said, you see got their little stats here. Now, let's take a quick peek to the game recap.
One down, Narvaez.
See, there we go.
Red Sox lead 2-0.
See right there. Boom. A base hit, an RBI single. You don't need a big time hit. All you need to do is run, make that runner come home. That's it. That's the objective.
27 RBI. Pay off again. Flash to right. Later break by Benson. On the slide, makes the catch. Late tag at second. Strong throw in. McLean relay to third base. Gets by Encarnacion Strand.
Yeah, so another, pretty decent. Well, you got to give it to credit to the defense. That was a pretty amazing catch, a sliding butt catch. But again, the runner's advancing to third. There's a wild pitch. That's all that matters. Yeah, the runner got out, but look at the result. And that's another thing I want to emphasize. The Red Sox need to emphasize of taking advantage of their opportunities. Take what's given to you. Don't take what you want fans to see, even though that's what we want to see, home runs, but just get the runner home or advance the runner. I've been hearing hearsay about the Red Sox organization. We're here talking about we want players that show more, team effort, more teamwork. If we're gonna do that, play as a team, every single player on this team, every single game needs to be like, look, we got each other's back. If you're on base, I'm gonna do my best to advance you. It may not be a home run, but look, we're on the same team. It's not about the personal accolades. Now, it's exciting to see players hit 40 home runs, 50 home runs, 60 home runs. But sometimes small ball, it's just getting the job done. That's all you need.
Looking. Off the run, especially when you're behind. Back at Fenway Park, where he's kind of got that funky delivery. De La Cruz backhand, outfield grass, long throw, got it. That is and the Red Sox with a man at third. And a little fly ball in the left center field. Lux charging in, will make the play. Here comes the runner. Toro trying to score. The throw's offline, and the Red Sox have tied the game.
And there we go again. Emphasis proven. Now, would it be exciting for him to get a double or a loud single or even a home run? Yes, it would. But look how happy he is right now. He's they should just put a Wally head on him. It's the same thing as a home run. Well, not the same thing, because obviously he didn't score it, but the run scored. That's all that matters, and that's the mentality that this team needs to start having more often, consistently. Not just one game. Okay, we did a good job this game. We need to do a good job every single game. Now, you're not going to go 162-0. But this 500 baseball we've been playing, this is a little bit of a good sign.
And that's going to float into right field, and the Red Sox are going to have the lead. Eaton will score. Abreu comes through again, and the Sox lead it 4-3. It's a good matchup for Willier.
And there we go again. Willier Abreu. Let's just take a step back from these highlights for a second. I want to look at Willier Abreu. Let's take a deep dive. This is the deep dive section of the Red Sox Rant Room. All right, so it looks like So I actually looked earlier. I'm gonna pull it up again later on. But look at the league average. Now the league batting average, like the minimum average throughout the league, I thought it was 250. So whoever said that, you need to go and check your facts because you are wrong, my friend. You are wrong. Now the whole time I'm thinking that the league batting average is it's like it's already set for the year after year, but boy was I wrong. So I went back all the way to 1875, and I've been looking at the league batting average year after year, and the median range from 2020. I don't want to go back too far. Let's stay more recent. So from 2020 to about 2025, the league batting average and range of median, it's about 245-ish, 244, 245. The highest is like 248. I think that was last season. Wait, I got to fact check first. So Willie Abreu, I say all that to say that Willie Abreu looks like here he's hitting well above league average. Now I know he's been injured. Now just imagine if he didn't get injured. Look at his numbers right here. 17 home runs. Now when you compare the big time hitters like Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, guys like that, that's light tower power, as they say. Light tower power. 17 is not that bad. And we're not even at the All-Star break yet. So that's a huge sign for the Red Sox. Now, one thing that I want to point out, I'm glad that I'm on Willie Abreu stats, because this is going to bring me to my next point. So let's scroll down. I want to look at his career stats. Can I pull that up? All right, this is I think this is from his past 10 games. So let's look at his past 10 games. Yep. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, so this is his past 10 games. So the past 10 games, let's see. So 253, 253, 256. It went back down to 252, 253. So the first 5 games, he's like in the 253, 255 range. But the past 2 games against, the series against the Reds, it's been going back up. He's been trending up. So let's look at his trend from the past few games. All right, so he's steady at 253, which is still above league average. Yep, so he looks like he's excelling right here the first 3 games, like the Giants, Angels, and then he kind of drops down. Then he goes back up to the minimum 53. Then he goes up to 55. And then he drops down. So it looks like his drop down is at that 253 range. That's what it's looking like for the past 10 games. Then it goes up to 256. Then it's up to 261. Then it stays steady at 261. So if we're looking at this recent trend, even if his average drops down the next couple of games, he's still going to be hitting about 2, at worst, 254, 252, 253. At worst, which isn't too bad because the league average is about, I want to say 248. Again, let me check. You know what? Let me stop talking about it. Let me be about it. MLB league average. Oh, here we go. Major League Batting year by year averages. Now, I hope this is, oh, damn. Yeah, so this is what I was looking at earlier. Now, this list is long. Let me get rid of this thing. This list is long. 1871. All right, let's start there. So, I don't know if my cursor is on, but I'm at the batting average. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the 8th column over. All right, so Let's look at the beginning of time. 1871, 287, 285, 290, 273, So it looks like the first few years of baseball, they was hitting extremely high average. All right, now let's get to more recent. Let's see. Let's look at the baseball been around for that long. Sheesh. BA. All right. So let's look at the 2000s to 2010. So the league averaged 270, 264, 261, 264, 266, 264, 269, 258, 264, 262, 257. So about, and I'm not a mathematician, but if you would try to look for like I guess it's called the mean. I guess high school actually taught you something. Unlike what that MX plus B bull crap, which I still have no use for. Like, what was the purpose of learning MX plus B? But this is not about that. So looking for the mean. So the 2000s, the mean batting average, I want to take a guess because I'm not going to get a calculator out. It's looking like, if anyone feels free that want to stat check this for me, feel free. But I'm going to say about 250, 255-ish, 260. Which is, I guess, pretty good. All right, let's look at the 2010s to the 2020s. Let me see. Where is the average? Damn, I lost it. Here it is. 255. So, after 2010, it looks like from the 260s, this is when I guess pitching is getting better because the league average is actually going down the past 10 years. So 2011, 55, 55, 53, 51, 54, 55. So it looks like here 55. So 2016, 2017 was like the peak of the batting average. So the league batting average then was about 255-ish. Then it went back down. Then it went back up. Then it's went down. Then it went down. Then it's going down. Then it went back up. And it's going down. Then it went back up. And at this, looks like the, I guess, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 2030. It looks like it's going to be between 240. All right, you know what? Let's give a better estimate than that. I'm gonna say the past 10 years. All right, let's look at 2020 first. I know it seems like I'm going off topic, but bear with me. I gotta drive these points home. See, you just can't get on here and just talk that talk. You gotta back it up with stats. You gotta back it up with facts. You gotta back it up with visual evidence. And we taking a deep dive into the Red Sox, and this is what we do here in the Rant Room. We don't just come here and just spew out all this non-negotiable hatred and whatever you want to call it. No, we need to, if I'm wrong, fact check me. I have no problem with that. And I know he's probably tired of me shouting him out, but shout out to one of my biggest fans out there, MVP Nation. That's a guy that has no problem fact checking me. Like, hey man, look, I don't know if that thing you said was correct. I looked it up and blah blah blah, and then I go and look it up. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So if you're a stat checker or a fact checker, come and join the Red Sox Rant Room Nation. And so back to on topic before I get back to Will Abreu, the league average from 2020, 245, 244, 233, or 243, excuse me, 48. So like let's say 245. So right now the league batting average of this season is actually 245. So let's just say that. Yeah, I went through all of that just to go back to 2025 and use the average that's there. But you got to look at history first. Alright, so regular season, he is batting 261 and the league average is 245. So he is actually batting pretty damn good. Now, I know we like to see hitters in like 300, 350, 400, but you know, like Aaron Judge, he was flirting with that for about a month or so, and then, you know, eventually you turn some kind of human, and then you kind of slack off, and then you get back to the 300s. Let's see, yeah, so 261, last 10 games. How many hits does he have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 9 hits in the past 10 games. Yeah, that's pretty respectable. Now, how many runs does he have? He has 2, 4, 5, and 6 runs. So 6 runs, 9 hits. How many home runs does he have? 1, 3, 4. So he has 4 home runs in the past 10 games. He has 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strikeouts. So he's averaging about a strikeout a game, which is really not that bad. Because if you're striking out at least once a game and your average is still up past league average, I mean, come on. So looks like he's pretty solid. Now let's do a total at bat for the past 10 games. 5, 7, 10, 13, 16, 18, 23, 26. So he had exactly 30 at bats in his past 10 games. So he had 30 at bats, and how many hits did he have? He had 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 hits. Oh wait, I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. So 10 hits. 30 at bats, so he's batting 300. He's batting 300 in the past 10 games, which is pretty solid. I don't know if I calculated that right, but that's what it's looking like. Yep, 10. Yeah, looks like 300. I don't know. Let me go fact check that. But yeah, so that's Will You Abreu. Now back to the point I was trying to make. Look, he's only been in the league for 3 years. Alright, his first year in the league, the rookie season, 28 games. He had 76 at-bats. He had 10 runs. He had 24 hits, 14 RBIs, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts, and he was batting at 316. Now, to put this in perspective, kind of look at what Roman Anthony did in his first, I don't know if he had 7. You know what, I'm going to look into him next. And not to compare these players, but to kind of see like the level of where these prospects are actually projected to go. So Will You Abreu, his projection is looking actually pretty damn good. Now I can't see his home runs, but his hits, he had 101 hits last season, only in games played, so he missed about what's that? I think 30 games. Yeah, he missed about 30 games. That's about 120 at bats. So just imagine if he had 500 at bats. This guy would be flirting with like 110, 120, possibly 130 hits. So last season, actually, wait a minute, because I can't drive my point home without the home run numbers. Alright, let's see. I don't want the last 2 games. Alright, here we go. 2003. This is what I need. Alright, so he had 2 home runs and 76 at bats. Then the next season, last season, he had 15 home runs and he had 399 at bats. He has over 100 less at bats, but he has more home runs. Whoa, so it looks like his power is up, but if you look at his doubles, I guess his slugging, yeah, that's kind of down, but again, it's 100 games less. So that's really not that bad. So if you play, let's say the next 100 games, he's going to be well above his previous season. Total bases, he's almost there. And this is 100 less games. He has 65 hits already, which is not lights out, but for what we have on this team, this is the star that we need. Now, I want to use the word star loosely because I don't want William Brady to get so good and break out so dominantly. The next thing you know, he's going sent to the West Coast. He's getting sent to San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, somewhere. But I'm not going to focus on the Red Sox organization. Actually, I am, because the trade talk is coming up. Oh boy, we might be here for a little bit. We might be here for a while, because I got so much to talk about today. And I'm still stuck on William Abreu right now. Alright, so, and the reason why I'm talking about William Abreu, because we need to emphasize who is actually, I don't want to say star, but like the power player. Let's just use that word, the power player. The player that can get those hits, get those home runs, and he's looking like he is in the lead with that. So shout out to William Abreu. Now let's get back into what we was back into.
Smoke this ball, but this kid loves his changeup, and Abreu can hit one.
Fly ball center field, well hit. Friedl's backing up to the wall, turning around. It's off the wall. Abreu hitting third. Around he comes. He will score. Story slipped a little bit, and he's going to be out at second. But the run does score.
Now, I'm not really going to blame Trevor Story. Well, for two reasons. One, that ball just missed the home run. It just missed the home run. But you did get an RBI, which was a good thing. But looking at that tag, I don't know. Can I go? I don't know how I feel about that tag, because at first glance, looks like he's safe. I don't know if there's a replay over there, but it's not that big of a deal. But it looks like he was safe to me. And which brings up the next topic of discussion. You already know, Trevor Story. Listen, we need to know who's on this team, what we getting ourselves into. Now, Trevor Story, let's look into some of the news, because I've heard a little bit of rumor that he doesn't want to be traded. He wants to stay in Boston. And you know what? Let me get into his stats first. You know, because Alex Cora kind of made a good point, because I snoop around and I read the reports. And long story short, he mentioned that Trevor Story's pretty much been injured ever since he came from Colorado. His seasons in Boston has been disastrous. They haven't been good due to injuries. He's had injury after injury. Now, this is actually one of his first full seasons in a while. Now, whether you want to admit it, Trevor Story has been coming off from injuries after injuries, and to be able to come back in some type of full form, it's encouraging to see. Now, usually I'll be all over Trevor Story. This guy's horrible. He can't hit. Now, the first half of the season, let's just be honest, what he was putting up, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. We can't even deny that fact or look around that fact. He was atrocious. The fans was all over him. Every time we seen him up to the plate, it was like, oh man. And he's still leading the league in strikeouts, which is still pretty concerning. But to throw in the fact that this is his first full season with the Red Sox in a while so far, and he hasn't really been injured as of yet. I don't want to jinx anything. This is actually a productive season for him. Alright, so I thought it was going to bring up what I was looking for, but I don't feel like searching it, because we hear about the stats. All right, so Trevor Story. Remember, the league average is what? 245. All right, let's look at Trevor Story's last 5 games. He had 1 home run in the past 5 games, but he had 2, 4, 7 RBIs in his last 5 games, which is very encouraging. And which brings up the point again. You don't always need home runs to drive in runs. RBIs, home runs are 2 different things. A home run can be an RBI, but an RBI doesn't have to be a home run. Now, you can have the bases loaded. Now, you would love to have a grand slam, but a nice hard hit double clearing the bases or scoring 2 runs, that's just pretty much a solid. It's not a 2-run homer, but it's pretty much the equivalent. So Trevor Story has actually been putting the runs on the board, which is very encouraging because this is what we're missing on this team. Now, we just went through Will Abreu. It can't be just one person. Now, I know the whole team talk, okay, we have to score as a team. Yeah, but who are those guys going to be? And as we clearly seen from the stats, that bottom of the lineup looks pretty suspect. We're going to do a deep dive into the lineup as well. But we're going to jump into this is just the first doubleheader game. We got to dig deep into the next one, which I'm not too happy about. But let's get back to the never-ending story, Trevor. All right, yeah, so he's been producing the past 5 games. Now look at his career stats. Now, Colorado Trevor, nasty. Look at this. Look at his stats here. 27 home runs, 24, 37, 35. And I think this is the season he got injured. 2020. Oh, no, that was the COVID season. I take that back. I don't know if he still got injured there, but then he went back to Colorado. He missed about, looks like 19 games, I think. 24 home runs. Now, let's look at something real quick. So, when Story's hitting 24, 35, 37, 24, 27 home runs a season, he's getting in between, let's say the average 550 to 600 at-bats. So, let's say a good 550 at-bats per average. So, if Trevor Story can get 500 at-bats this season, or plate appearances, he's going to hit 20 plus. So right now he's at 12. Now let's look at his season in Boston. So when he came into Boston, dreadful. 94 games. That's pretty much missing half of the season. He got 396 at bats, and he had 16 RBIs. Home runs, 66 RBIs. So if he has about 4, so let's look at all right, so he has his injury seasons here. He didn't really play. He had 5 home runs, so it looks like he's on pace to pass the. So if he has about 4, so he has 60 more bats to reach his high, his at bats, his career high. Well, his team high for Boston. So 60 more at-bats. Could he be more productive than when he first came into Boston? So if he doesn't have 4 more home runs and 20 more RBIs and 60 at-bats, do we write him off? I don't know just yet. But let's look at the league average. What's his average this season? So far it is 237. So Trevor Story is hitting below league average. All right, let's look at it as a team because I don't want to go through each individual one by one. All right, so let's look. Let's start from the bottom. Nate Eaton, he's a role player. He's batting 300. Ooh, see, and I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm an MLB The Show player, so I dig even deeper into the stats. And if you actually look up, I wish I could pull it up because I'm not on my PlayStation right now. I'm on a laptop. But if you look up his, and before I say this, MLB The Show, the stats, the ratings, they're pretty accurate to the real thing. So let's just point that up there. So don't think, okay, this guy's just using video games to compare. No, if you actually dig deep into MLB The Show, like it's almost as realistic as you can get. I don't know about the graphics and all that. I don't care about. But as far as analytics and the stats and the ratings, it's pretty damn accurate. And with that said, Nate Eaton is one of the fastest players on this team, and the kid can ball. I don't know. Well, you can clearly see what he's doing when he gets the opportunity, batting 300s, which is way above league average. Now I know he has limited at bats. Now I know he's not putting up numbers, but you're like, oh, Nate Eaton's a house, but he's a solid player. Now, he's a utility player, but he's solid. He's very solid. Now if he gets used the right way, he can actually help this team do a little bit more damage. Blake Sable, he's not here. Who cares? All right, Nick Sogard. I kind of liked him a little bit, but he's even hitting above league average with the limited at bats he has. Oh, let's look at Nate Eaton. He's 3 for 10, which is very limited, but hey, the number says 300 average, so that's what we're gonna go with. All right, we got Nick Sogard. What's his batting average? Let's see. Nick Sogard, 254, 65 at bats. Roman Anthony, 73 at bats. Now remember, William Abreu, his rookie season, he had 79 at bats. So Roman's right up there. Now, how many home runs does Roman have? 1 home run, 6 RBIs. 13 hits. He's batting 210. Now, not to compare him to William Abreu, but it looks like Abreu has more. I don't want to say it as an upside because he's a little bit older, but Abreu, listen, his upside is looking very, very, very good. Now, Roman. Now, I know Roman just came into the league. He's adjusting, as we talked about on the previous episode. And this is not to shame Roman. This is just comparing him to another rookie that's on the team, that was on the team his rookie season. And it looks like, well, he has 6 games left to turn it around. But it looks like Abreu's rookie season is looking actually pretty solid. But the season's not over. Next, we have Connor Wong. Now, I'm going to be honest. And I think I'm going to go to my X, formerly known as Twitter, so people can see visually. Remember, because we're not just throwing things out there, making people believe it. I want people to see this. I'm going to go to the Red Sox group. We're going to show the picture of the starting lineup. And I want you to see, not me. I want you to see what the fans are saying about Connor Wong, if his name's ever in the lineup. It's not good. Now, pre-injury Connor Wong, he was on pace to do something. He's one of the fastest catchers pre-injury. But ever since that injury he suffered, it's looked like he's progressed very, very, very steeply. I don't know if the injury's still affecting him or if it's like a mental thing, but ever since that injury, he's been awful. He's been awful. And everything that the fans and even the media was saying about Trevor's story, that this guy's terrible. His hitting funk is horrible. Blah, blah, blah. We need to be saying that about Connor Wong. He is in a funk. Now, instead of putting players on my team down and saying how bad they are, listen, Connor Wong, if you ever get a chance to listen to this, snap out of it, bro. Snap out of it. I don't know if it's a personal thing, a mental thing, but you got to redeem yourself. Now, the Red Sox Nation is against you right now. This is not me saying this. This is what the nation is saying. Connor Wong, you suck. And I say that humbly. You're not playing good baseball. But the thing about Red Sox Nation is, even if you're terrible, as you can see, even with the organization, we love garbage time players. Collect that garbage, Connor Wong. Turn that trash into treasure. The only way that you can redeem yourself here in the Red Sox Nation is to hit better and play better. That's it. Listen, if you start doing that all the way to the end of the season, guess what? Everything that you did before, no one's even going to remember. Because that's how Red Sox Nation work. When you start producing, we're not going to care how trash you was before. We're going to defend you, like, who cares? Look, but what is he doing now? Look at his progress, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be the player that everyone's talking about? Oh, this guy's horrible. Or do you want to be the player that, oh, this guy used to be trash, but look at him now? I think you want to be the latter of the two. I didn't want to turn that into the Connor Wong show, but 151. 84 at bats. Atrocious. Now, I know he's been injured and he hasn't really been the full-time catcher since the captain Carlos Navarez has taken over. Now let me look at his real quick. Let me see his how many at-bats has he had? He's had 200. So he's took Connor Wong's spot. As he should. But we're not at Carlos Navarez. We are at Marcelo Mayer. Or is it Meyer? I don't know. Mayer, tomato, potato, potatoes, whatever you want to call it. Batting average 220, so that's well below league average. 89 at bats. Can't really blame him. You know, he's still working, but he has 4 home runs. Not too many RBIs, but the home runs is exciting to see. So I'll take that. I'll take that. But back to whoa. I know I didn't get up to number 12 yet. Oh man, Connor Wong, this looks like this is your day tonight. Cause I gotta call out how I see it right now. But hold on. Rob Refsnyder, another utility player. Let's see, he's had 106 at bats. Okay. No plate appearances. He had 90 at bats. Now, what's the difference between when available? We use actual plate appearance or playing games. Otherwise, estimating using walks. Okay, so let's look at bats, not plate appearances. So at bats, we have 82 at bats. Now let's compare him to Roman. He's at 62. Roman's hitting 210. Marcelo's hitting 220. Rob's hitting 278. Oh, just to throw that out there, even though Nick Sogard has only 60 or 59 at bats, he's hitting above league average. Shout out to Nick Sogard, he's hitting above league average. Roman Anthony, not so much. Connor Wong, not so much. Marcelo Mayer, not so much. Rob Refsnyder, let's see. Yeah, he had pretty decent amount of at bats this season. 278. How many hits does he have? 25 for 90. It's not bad. He has 5 home runs. Now, just imagine if he had more at bats. Would he be like in the 20s and possibly 30s for home runs? I don't know. Now, usually I'm not a Rob Refsnyder person, but looking at the stats, I kind of want to see what he can do more. I know he's like a lefty specialist, but I want to see what he can do. Oh, and speaking of the outfield situation, real quick, Yoshida had his rehab back in Woo Sox, and he was 0 for 3, 2 walks. So I'm really curious of how this outfield thing's gonna work. But you know what? Let's save that for another segment. Let's get back to business. So we got wrong ref. All right, then we got Tristan Casas. Now, all right, so honesty is all I know. So, all right. So inside Red Sox Nation, we kind of got specific players who, no matter what they do, they're trash. Oh, and Connor Wong, take that advice I just gave you and look at Trevor Story, because the same thing I just said about Connor Wong, I have said about Trevor Story. But guess what? Trevor Story's been producing lately. So guess what? I'm slowly but surely starting to forget about what's he been doing at the first half of the season. See, that's that Red Sox Nation syndrome. In order for me to forget, you gotta produce. Now, with that said, back to Tristan Casas. Every report that I've been reading, oh, the Red Sox, you know, we're desperate for a first baseman ever since Tristan Casas got injured. Now, should I look in his personal stats? I think I might. I think I might. I might look at Tristan Casas, but everything I'm hearing is like the injuries of the team. The Red Sox, they lost a star player, their star first baseman, and I'm looking around like, did Devers play first base? Did we get a new first baseman or something? Because what is the hype about Tristan Casas, who's recovering from injury, by the way? And listen, and when I give my honest opinion, this is not me having beef with these players. I'm just giving you the cold, honest truth of how, well, let me not speak for everybody else, how I feel. This is how I feel. And I feel like Tristan Casas is not a good ball player. Now, I know everyone's like, okay, you got to give him time to develop. Yes, you got to give everyone time to develop. But looking at these stats here, this is pre-injury. Now, I don't want to kick a man down when he's injured. All I do want to do is wish Tristan Casas a speedy recovery. And I really hope you do get a speedy recovery, come back healthy, so you can actually be this talent that everyone's saying that he is. But before his injury, 182. Now, he was trending to go back up. So I think if he hasn't been injured, I think he'd be like around 220, still below league average. I think he would have about, 13 or 14 home runs by now. All right, then we have David Hamilton, who is actually in the same league as Tristan Casas. So I think some of this, I think Connor Wong is going to get a new buddy soon. Oh, actually, I don't think he's getting a new buddy soon, because once I go into that Red Sox group and show you what they're saying about the lineup and who's in it, David Hamilton, you are also in the hot seat, my friend. You are also in the hot seat. How do I feel about you when you're playing on the Red Sox? Absolutely horrendous. Trash. And look, I'm saying this for your own good, David Hamilton. Now, I know we want to sit here and say, okay, MLB players, it's hard to hit. Listen, I told you guys in the last episode, I don't want to hear those excuses. You're a professional athlete. You gotta act like it. And batting 179 with 120 plate appearances. Pretty awful. Now, to put things in perspective, you know, like I said, I'm not kicking him when it's down. I'm just looking at the stats and making an honest statement and review. The players with less at bats, I mean, obviously, with less at bats, your numbers will look better, but I don't know, Hamilton. I mean, he got raw speed. This is, now according to MLB, to show his rating, his speed is like an 89, 90. Why in the hell is he not using that? You don't need to be a power hitter. Turn a single to a double. Turn a double to a triple to an inside the park. David Hamilton, come on, bro. It's terrible to watch. And unfortunately, you're in the hot seat in Red Sox Nation because not only do I think you're not a good player, the nation doesn't think you're a good player. Now, how are you going to respond to that? That's up to you. Trevor Story. He's slowly getting out the hot seat, but guess what? He's producing. He's putting up decent numbers, so we're forgetting about his awfulness. David Hamilton, Connor Wong, step up. Because I would really, really, really hate to make these two guys the center of the episode every single time. But listen, I'm calling out the players that are not producing. Now it's called tough love, but listen, if you want to be on the Red Sox, we gotta start competing. Now I know you're just like role players and you're not everyday players or whatever the term for baseball is, but step up. I challenge you to step up, David Hamilton. Please. Not for my sake, but for your own, because like I said, the nation is on you, bro. The nation is on you, Hamilton. They don't like you. Give them something to like. That's all I'm going to say. Now let's move on. Rami Gonzalez. Batting average 304. So he is very well above league average. Now, when he first came, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. Once I seen the Red Sox make the call up, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Who the fluff is this guy? He's trash. But that's always my first impression. Listen, if I don't know who you are, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to pull up your career stats and I'm like, you know what? This guy doesn't look good, but so far, you know what? He did his thing against the Yankees. You know, so I'm going to accept Rami Gonzalez. He's another one of my kind of favorite players. Now, Nate Eaton, I don't know why, but I like the guy. Number 2, I'm going to say Rami Gonzalez. I like his game. Now, he's naturally not a first baseman. Now, here's the thing. I believe he can play, I think, the whole entire infield, if I'm not mistaken, except shortstop. I don't know. But in order to go to first base and put up these solid numbers he's doing, he had 112 at bats, 34 hits. That's pretty solid. All right, let's skip over Devers. You know, I don't want to reignite my anger. Let's skip over to Wilyer Abreu. Let's see. Yeah, so team leading 16 home runs. So that means if Devers was still on the team, he would have more home runs than Devers. So it looks like the trade wasn't. I mean, Devers is more productive, but again, Wilyer Abreu, he's been injured. Now, Wilyer Abreu, this is like the Wilyer Abreu episode, but how many at bats? 269 at bats. So if this guy gets about 500, 600 at bats, hopefully. I don't think he's going to reach 600. Let's say if he gets 500. All right, 269 is a little bit over 250, so let's kind of double the numbers and take off a few. So if you double the home runs, so he's on pace to hit about 30 home runs. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it because I need answers and I need them fast. So let's go into this. Is the GPT chat edition. Listen. I gotta do what I gotta do. Actually, you know what? Let me not cheat. Let's do it the real way. You know, I don't want any, even though we got an AI review or overview, we're going to do it the real way. All right, so Will Abreu is projected to hit 33 home runs this season. All right, so that settles that. All right, so moving along. Wait, let's see his batting average, 256. So he's above league average. How many hits does he have? He has 62 hits. Not bad. All right, moving up to Sedan Rafaela. He's also hitting above league average, 299. So he's a everyday player. Let's see, he has 9 home runs. So let's take a look here. Alright, so it's looking like Sedan Rafaela is projected to hit between 20 to 25 home runs as he develops to improve his power. Now that's pretty encouraging to see. So he's already almost halfway there. So about 20, 25, not too bad. And we definitely need like a 20 plus home run team. We need at least 5 players. Oh wait, they don't even have Bregman stats. Oh, yes they do. Alright, there we go. Alright, so Abreu, 45 RBIs. So it looks like he's leading the almost Trevor Story's leading the team in RBI. So we have to rely on Trevor Story now. No, I know the last episode I was doing the pocket watching episode, and then how much was he making? About 21 million or something like that. And no, I'm not gonna take it back. I still don't think he's worth it unless he continues to produce like this. Now, is it still worth that amount of money? I don't know. The amount of money that he's making, he needs to be putting up 30, 35 home runs, 100 plus RBIs. And that, like I said, that's just facts. You can't be getting paid all that money and not producing big time numbers. Now, I know defensively, he's one of the best defensive players. Now, I don't know if I feel like going to the defensive stats in the league, but if you look at him, he's up there. Now, that money he's making defensively, yes, I would definitely take that for Trevor Story. Now, I noticed one thing about my analysis of Trevor Story is that I always look at the hitting side. I never look at like the defensive side. So, you know what? I think I'm starting to slowly but surely become a Trevor Story fan. Slowly but surely. Well, let's see how the season goes. And while we're on the Trevor Story, let me go and do a surprising shout out to Alex Cora. who went out and said, you know, this is back when Trevor Story was like an A grade and then a Red Sox hate nation. Like, he was trash. He was in one of the worst slumps you've probably ever seen. But then Alex Cora came out and said, you know what, we're going to let him hit through it. And this is when I learned that, you know, he is coming back from injury. This is actually his first full season, so he has to get back in the mode of hitting consistently. And it's looking like it's caught back up to him. So that's a very encouraging sign to see. And let's look at Trevor Story's stats. 230 sets. So he's approaching the league average. Got 12 home runs, 75 hits, the most on the team. Oh, besides Duran. .316 at bats, 75 hits, not too bad. All right, who's next? Christian Campbell. Now, I know he got demoted to AAA to learn how to play first base, but he is right where he belongs. Now, the first month of baseball, cool. You know what? Before I go all the way in on this, let me be on Christian Campbell's side for a second. Because the first month of baseball, what happened? He was at a consistent position. So he hit like 300 for that month, yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, you started switching him out to the outfield, switching him off here, switching him off here. Now, I know you want to be like, okay, you're an MLB player, you got to adjust, but sometimes you need to put the players where they belong. Now, all this using players from multiple positions, it sounds good on paper. Can Christian Campbell play the outfield? Yes, he can. But is that the best option for the team? Absolutely not. And go look up the stats yourself. When he's playing in the outfield, look at his numbers. So I don't blame Christian Campbell's slump on himself. I blame it on the management. Mismanaging their team. Stop putting him in. This is exactly why Devers didn't want to do what he did. Now, these players are younger, so of course they're going to be down with the program. They're not going to talk back because they want their money, they want their jobs. But this is when we've got to start looking at the management and the coaching and the staff. Is it good to have multiple players play multiple positions? Yeah, injuries happen. You need to move people around. But it's almost like the whole team is expected to play multiple positions, which is okay. But that doesn't mean that just because you can play the outfield doesn't mean you should, and you'll be more effective. See, and that's the thing about managing. Put these players where they're most effective. This is not regular season is not to test out new things to see what works and what doesn't. Well, it kind of does, but not for positions. That's what spring training's for. But back on traffic with Christian Campbell, who's batting way below, well, not way below, he's batting below league average. He's up there in team strikeouts. And he has 6 home runs, and I don't think none of those are at Fenway Park. Then we got Abraham Toro, another guy who I like. And he's batting 286. Fire. Now let's compare him to Romy Gonzalez. Toro, so he has about a couple more, well, a lot more bats in him. But he's almost hitting 300. So anyone that's saying, oh, Abraham Toro is not good, this guy's solid. Got 286. That's way above league average. He has low strikeout numbers. Let's see, he has 5 home. Now he can be a little bit more offensive productive. But like I said, everyone's not going to hit, the whole team's not going to have 100 RBIs. So it looks like he's the guy that's getting on base. How many runs scored does he have? 21. Okay. All right, last up, we got Carlos Navarro. That C is not for catcher, that's for captain. All right, so he's played in 64 games. How many at bats? 222. Oh, did I skip? Oh, wait. Damn. I skipped over a whole bunch of people. Hold on, I got to go back for a second. All right, after this. All right, let's see. So he's batting above league average, which is good to see. He has 61 hits, 7 home runs, 26. So he's producing. It's okay. Oh, so I forgot Bregman, Durant. All right, so Durant. 253. So he's just above league average. As a leadoff hitter, I was expecting him to hit about 300 or so. Let's see, he has 6 home runs, not really into the power. He has 20 doubles. And he does have 46 runs scored, which is almost, well, Devers is gone, so he's leading the team in runs scored. Alex Bregman, before he got injured, he hitting above league average. 11 home runs. He was on pace to hit about 30 to 40. 197 at bats. All right, who else did I miss? Trevor Story. All right, we got him. So we went over all these players' league average stats. So it looks like, all right, let's do a quick rundown. So I did it from from best to worst. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 players on the team hitting above league average. And the ones that aren't are pretty much rookies or like utility players. So was this promising? I mean, when we're scoring 15 runs and then 13 in a few game span, you gotta look at it like, okay, this looks pretty solid. So we're hitting above league average, but what is it about the 1-run losses and the 500 baseball? That's the issue I'm trying to find. Oh, and real quick, let's go into, since we're on the stats. Anyone that's not on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter, this guy right here, Red Sox Nation, oh man. If you don't have a TV, you don't have cable, you can't watch the game, go on Twitter and follow this guy. He does Twitter commentary. At bat per at bat. Now that's dedication, bro. He'll tell you the weather. He can tell you what deodorant you're wearing in the outfield. Let's look at a couple of his stats. Okay, so the fastest pitch thrown in the game. Chapman, 101. Fitz almost hits almost 100. Hardest hit ball was Will Benson at 108. Damn. So Navarez, Trevor Story hit 108. Roman Anthony, he's been hitting the ball really hard. Now I can't be too hard on Roman, because he's been hitting the ball really, really hard, but it's just not his luck. Now people's looking at his average like, okay, he has I'm looking at his average like, damn, that's below average. But when you look at the velocity of his hits, he's actually putting wood on the ball. Now the only thing I want to challenge Roman is to have more control of the bat. We all know you got power, but let's see you control it. Let's turn those hard hit balls out of outs. Put him against the green monster. Put him in the gap. Because the upside on Roman is very, very strong. Now the only other player that hits the ball almost as consistently as Roman was Tristan Casas. Now, all right, I said he was trash, but on the good side, exit velocity, Tristan Casas was up there. Now his average didn't show it, but now players like Roman and Casas, they have raw power. So that means, yeah, they can hit home runs, but even if they hit outs, the ball's gonna get hit hard. So those are the type of players that need to buckle down with the hitting coaches, who's awful, by the way, and learn how to control that bat. Learn how to hit the ball to where you want it to go. And that's all I'm saying there. And David Hamilton even made the list. 99. All right, top distances. Trevor Story with the longest hit ball of the day. .397 feet. Next up was Spencer. We're not doing no opponent stats. Abraham Toro next up, 317 feet. Sedan Rafaela, 295 feet. The time of the game, I think the time of the game was 2 hours, 9 minutes before a crowd of 555, whatever. 32,355 fans. 86 revenue capacity. I think that was due to the rain. I think a lot of people tickets got rescheduled, or they were coming from. And one thing I want to emphasize: this is how deep Red Sox Nation is. Like, people had tickets to that game. They came way from out of state. I don't know where they came from, but listen, people come from way across the country, from multiple states away, to see the Red Sox play. I'm trying to tell you, Red Sox Nation is for real. Alright, so Chapman earns his 15th save of the season. And see, the reason why I follow this guy, because this guy saves me so much time, so much trouble from looking up stats. So the Red Sox are 29-13 when scoring first, 31-15 when scoring 4+ runs, 7-23 without the benefit of a home run, 14-4 in 2-run games, 6-8 when tied after 6 innings, 36-1 when leading after 8 innings. And as we talked about yesterday on the other episode, the Red Sox are not playing 9-inning baseball, but according to this, when they're leading in the 8th inning, they're 36-1. So that should be a sign for the Red Sox. Listen, just like, oh wait, I'm not jumping to the other game. But since I kind of spilled the beans, which leads me to my next thing is, when you're leading the game, just like in the second game, you were up 3-0. And then somehow we miraculously lose the game. Why? Because we're not leading past the 8th inning. And why is that important? Just like we've seen in Game 2 of the doubleheader. The Red Sox feel like once they're in the lead, like in the 5th or 6th inning and they're winning, they're like, okay, the game's over, we're ahead. No. Other teams are playing 9 innings. And that's exactly why the Reds won the second game, but we're not on that. All right, let's see. So we're 44, 42 overall. Oh, that's the Reds, not the Red Sox. All right, so the Red Sox moved to 43 and 44 with that first doubleheader game. And look at there, 81 and 81 in 2004. Now, if anyone is tuning in here, I just want to ask you one question. Are the Red Sox making progress? I'm just going to leave you to ponder that question, because I don't want to be the one, okay, you're in a bad mood, you're mad because they're losing. No. Let's hear your opinion. Because this is going on the 4th season where you're about to finish 500. Or worse. That's not concerning. Yep, so the Red Sox got 5 runs, 8 hits in that game. We left 4 runners on base. Oh, what other stats can we see? Carlos Navarro in full counts this season. 38 plate appearances. He's batting 200. Now that's a stat I never knew. Nate Eaton advances. Abraham Toro just keeps hitting hot to start the season. A brief offensive slowdown, and now he's heating up again. And as we just seen his stats, so shout out to Abraham Toro. And we have Alex Cora. I don't think he's ever got to catch Francona. Especially when you have a career of playing 500 baseball, I just don't see it happening anytime soon. It's going to take Cora about 10 more years. And hopefully he won't be on the Red Sox, because we're not doing another season after 500 baseball. Because if Cora is still here after this season, they're going to be like some type of love relationship, like the rainbow kind. Somebody's doing something behind the scenes, because there's no way in hell you have a man that's bringing your team 500 year after year, and you're still praising him for winning a championship in 2018. Allegedly cheating, by the way. Alright, let's see if we can see any more stats here. What's this thing right here? Let's see. Most batters hit by pitch in the MLB. Red Sox are up there. They hit. Let's see. Damn, so the Red Sox are beaming hitters this year. Oh, look. So our next game up is against the Nationals in a series, and they have the most hit batters this season. So it looks like the Red Sox should be prepared to be getting hit with the ball this upcoming series. Yeah, that's concerning. The Rockies, whoa, they have the least amount of, well, that's surprising. Now, as bad as the Red Sox are this season, we can always be like the Rockies. Thank God we're not. Alright, here we go. So the Red Sox has 762. Wait, what is that? Oh, team pitching. Okay. So it looks like the Reds have way more superior pitching than the Red Sox had, but we end up winning the series, which is a good thing. Yeah, so we've given up 727 hits, 395 runs. We got almost 300 walks, 37 hit batters, 4.01 ERA as a team. You're just not going to get it done like that. We give up almost 5 runs per game. Now, speaking of which, let me just run something back real quick. Yeah, I'm just pulling up something real quick. Alright. Games right here. Now, I know we're all excited about the big 13-run win the other day. The 15-run game we had the couple games before that, but check this out. Remember, we went over the stats for the Blue Jays in the first episode. Alright, so that... Well, let me fix my mic. Yeah, so the Red Sox in the Blue Jays series, we scored 15, 18... Yeah, we only scored 18 runs in that series. The majority of those came in one game. Okay. What's your point? Alright. Oh wait, I was wrong. No wait, I was right. Alright. So we scored 18. How many runs did the Blue Jays score? So the Blue Jays scored 9, 10, 15. So realistically, we won 19-15 in that series. So no matter what big games we're playing, the run differential in this series is not that big of a difference. Okay. That just works for that one. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next team. Alright, 13, 5. So that's 18, 22 runs. The Reds scored 6. Oh wait, I counted that wrong. 13, 18, 22. The Reds got 6, 9, 17. Sound familiar? Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is that as much as we scoring in these big games, these 13, 15 run games, it's series-wise, we're not really outscoring teams by much. For anyone concerned, yeah, that's part of the reason why we're playing 500 baseball. We're giving up almost 5 runs a game. And series-wise, we're really not outscoring our opponents. We have one big good game, and then that's it. Now, on the bright side, we did win our first series since the Yankees, I believe. Now, before we shift off to the end of this podcast, we got the Nationals up. Let's look at their record. Okay, they're the third worst team in the National League. They have 50 losses. Now this is what I'm gonna say. If this team wants the fans and the nation to take them serious, and we do not come up with anything less than a sweep against a last place team, this series against the Nationals, this is going to show you where this team really stands. If this is not a sweep, I already said the season was over months ago, but the season will officially be over. Man, it's not even All-Star break. Who cares? Listen, when the end of the season comes, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable for losing to the White Sox. From the Orioles. We even got a series for the Rockies coming up. And if anyone's wondering, I'm scared. I'm afraid. Because we compete against teams like the Yankees and all these other teams. But when we're playing these bad teams, we are not winning ball games. Now, what does the team have to do to get better? Let's go and jump to our next segment before we end this podcast, and that is the trade rumors. Now, as you know, I don't like to do no hearsay, so here it is right here. There's rumors that Alex Bregman might be moving on. Now, some people's like, oh, there's no way. Yes, there is a way. We talked about that in the first episode. Bregman does not have to stay in Boston. One, he wants to stay in Boston from what I hear. But remember, Bregman's a star player. Even though he's a team player first, guess what? Now, if he does get traded, and if Red Sox Nation really doesn't look at this as the biggest red flag in history, I don't know what else to do. Getting rid of Bregman, you're saying we don't want no star players on this team. And if you're coming out and telling your fans this, we need to stop buying tickets and supporting this team all together. Because if we think we're going to a ballpark, spending hard-earned money to watch players that nobody wants to see, sell the team. Do something. Every other good team has star players on their team. And they keep them. And they appreciate them. Boston, not so fluffing much. And if that's not a red flag to any fan, I feel sorry for you. Just imagine having your favorite player that you want to see all the time. You're like, man, there's no way this guy's going to leave. He's so good. He's progressing. And guess what? He gets traded. Now, I'm not just talking about Devers. Now, I want everyone to think about this for a second and be honest with yourself. When was the last good Red Sox trade? Like, when was the last time the Red Sox made an actually big trade that actually produced something? Don't worry, it's early in the morning. We can wait all day. Alright, so MLB execs believes the Red Sox can make a disappointing Alex Bregman decision. Craig Bieslow has been adamant about not trading away their players at the deadline. He's expecting to be buyers. And it looks like, according to rumors, but you can never take these rumors too lightly, but what's been going on in this organization, I don't know. So potentially, Bregman might be leaving. Now, who are we going to get in? I don't know. Let's just read further and see what it says. Yep, that's right. It says the only solace for such a move will be the potential return. But as evident in the Devers deal, the Red Sox might land a return that moves the needle for fans. Now, all jokes aside. Now, I'm not saying Rafael Devers is a Aaron Judge type player. But the return that you got for that kind of player, you don't need a job in baseball. You don't need that job in baseball. And like I said in the first episode, this was not about clearing money off the books. Trevor Story, Gelato, Walker Buehler, and did I not mention Yoshida is getting $19 million to be injured and rehabbing in AAA right now. $19 million to be in rehab in AAA. Red flag. I don't care nothing what the Yankees is doing. Alright, see? I told you it's not me. It's the fans. Let's see. I'm just skimming through. So they got Bregman ranked 13th on the list for being traded. And these are from legit sources from the MLB, so we can sit here and be like, all right, they traded Devers. There's no way they would even think about trading Bregman. Okay, please don't make the Red Sox hold their beer. Please don't have them hold their beer. And I just went back on the report. You know why? Because I just seen a report of Yoshida trying out for first base. Oh my god, bro. I know this is supposed to be the trade rumors, but again, like the first episode, are the Red Sox really this freaking desperate for a first baseman, bro? So you're telling me with that, the crowded outfield we have, you're telling me with the $19 million player that you have rehabbing in AAA, you can't make a trade for a first baseman? Looking around awkwardly. Because if you can't find a first baseman with all the type of prospect, you have an over-jammed outfield. And you can't trade for a first baseman. Put your divorce papers in, resign your job, go be a family man, do something, because baseball operations is not for the Red Sox. It's almost embarrassing. And which makes me think that the rumors of the owners or the financing group that owns the Red Sox, I guess they're really trying to buy another soccer team. there's no way in hell you're making these moves. If you're gonna make moves like this, sell the team. That way, you can have your soccer team. But to sit here and blow the team up right in front of fans' face, let's just move on. So they even have possible landing spots. So Jaren Duran, oh wait a minute. So how would you guys feel about a Jaren Duran trade? Oh boy. Now unless we're getting some type of star player back in return, which I highly doubt, I'm afraid for Duran. He's he's in a different situation because he doesn't have like a big contract. He's on like a $4 million contract, and I think he can, I guess, negotiate, or I don't know the full MLB process. But Durant, he's a cheap player to get, and I got a bad feeling that the Red Sox are about to be the dumbest trade again for some prospects that nobody wants and nobody cares about. Somebody that's injured and coming back from rehab, and they somehow think that they're gonna be a shell of their former self. I know it sounds like I'm hating, but tell me I'm wrong. So we know there's San Diego and alright, okay. So San Diego and the Phillies. Now the only way I would do this, I'll take a cut now. Do you trade the speed and the doubles and the triples and that type of production for a player like Kyle Schwarber with just pure power? I don't know. Now I do kind of want a power hitter on the team, but you don't give up a player like Duran. With that speed, with his skill set, you're not gonna find that else in the trade. Now, are you gonna rely on Tibbs, the new trade, to be another Durant? It's not gonna happen. Roman's not gonna be another Durant. As good as Roman's gonna be, he's not gonna be a Durant. He might even be better than a Durant, like statistically, but as far as athletically and what he brings and his skill set, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, so be on the lookout for another terrible trade coming up. Oh boy, is this the same one as before? Another shocking trade. Let's see what this is about. Oh yeah, that's the Alex Bregman. Now that I think about it, Bregman is injured, and he's getting older. Like I said in my other episode, he's getting older, he's getting injured. Now, I'm not saying he's going to fall off, but... And then he doesn't really have a guaranteed contract in Boston, so trading Bregman really isn't a bad idea now that I think about it. If you can get another quality star type player that you can lock in for a longer type contract without okay, next season we don't know if you're going to go, so we have to trade you. If you can lock somebody in with the same type of production, let's go. But please don't go out there and trade an Alex Bregman for Josh McKenzie. Leo Martins, Mickey McCosey. Who are those people? Who the fuck knows? And that's exactly my point. If you're going to make a trade, get equal value. Or at least a decent future to look forward to. Because the future that I'm looking for the Devers trade is trash. I mean, Hicks had a good game, but come on. Unless he's going to blow me out the water and show me what he got, come on. Come on. Now, I'm having hopes for him. I'm having hopes for Kyle Harrison. Hopefully, from what they're saying, he's pretty good, but you don't win World Series from hope. You don't win a World Series from hope. It doesn't work like that. Alright, will Red Sox sign newly released slugger? So who got newly released? Let's see. Oh, looks like a garbage time player. Trey McKenzie. So he had 9 home runs, 26, 363. That's not bad. Ooh. That's in AAA though. So he can play first base. Now, if I'm the Red Sox, jump on this guy. Doesn't matter what his stats is looking at. You're looking for a first baseman. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg. You got plenty of people that you can DFA off this team. We need a first baseman, right? Buy Yoshida. Buy Nick Sogard. Like the countless pitchers in the rotation. Richard Fitz, that's an easy decision. Hunter Hobbins, I mean, he's showing promise, but to make room for this first baseman that I'm seeing, he's a potential 20+ home run hitter. And listen, we just need offense for production. Now, I know people like defense, but now I'm not saying that first basemen don't make exciting plays, but do they really make exciting plays? I mean, yeah, they're important. They get the double plays, they get those out. So I'm not saying they're not important, but all you need to do is just get the job done. And I feel like that Mancini guy, he can get the job done. Oh wait, speaking of which, I'm glad I'm on this. What's going on? The Red Sox have addressed the recent. Is this recent? Boston reportedly acquired 8-year veteran Garrett Cooper from Chicago. Cooper, 33, played in just 12 games, 41 at-bats, 270. He has a rib. See, I'm so glad I stumbled across this report. So that means everything that I said in the first episode, everything I'm saying now, is look like it's lining up right on the money. Did I not say that the Red Sox will go after a garbage time player? A player that's injured and they hope that's going to come back and return to be a shell of his former self. I'll let you read it. Okay, let's read it together. He has a rib fracture. Oh my goodness, bro. Did I not just finish talking about this? Are we really this desperate for a first baseman, bro? I'm trying to piece together words. He has a rib fracture, so he'll be out for a while. Obviously, we had a pretty good idea a few days ago, but after all the tests in Boston, that's what came out. We just have to be patient now. Timetable, there is none. This has to heal on its own. We just have to be patient. Welcome to the Boston Rehab. This is not the Boston Red Sox. I told you guys, I don't be making this stuff up. Oh, wait a minute. This looks like an older... What year is this from? Alright, so this looks like a false report. Thank God. See, that's why I was looking for the report, like the date when I first started. Oh, April 27th. Wow. But who cares? Wait a minute. So they still signed this guy? So he's still... Oh my goodness. See, that's why it's always important to check the dates. So I got bamboozled on that one. That's not recent, thank God. Ooh, scared the shit out of me right there. Alright, let's look at the trade candidates. Alright, so Jaron, or who's the number one? So Bregman. Yeah, so these injuries, I mean, Bregman, I mean, you're good, but what good are you if you're injured? And Jaron Duran. And well, here's a name that we all should be happy for: Walker Buehler. Oh my God! All right, we already talked about him in the first episode, so I'm not gonna do it again. Matter of fact, yes, I am. Walker Buehler. If you ever hear this, I just want you to know. Even though, hold on, before I say this. You know, I want you guys to hear it out of his mouth. I want you to hear it out of his mouth instead of mine. Here we go.
Yeah, you can't walk 7 guys in the Major League Baseball game and expect to be successful. I think we keep going through trying different things and looking at different stuff, or this mix or that mix, and at the end of the day, if you don't execute with the strikes, you really don't have a chance. So, I feel like a broken record, but it's embarrassing. It's just not who I want to be as a baseball player. Obviously, I'd rather get whacked around than do that. And somehow this year I've managed to do all the negative things you can. So.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it straight out of the dragon's mouth. You heard it straight out of the dragon's mouth. So everyone that's like, okay, why do you always bashing these players? He took the words right out of my own mouth. I'm glad he's taking accountability. You know, and looking at how sad Walker Buehler is in this video, even though I think you're trash, you're not a good pitcher, you're overrated, whatever they said that all this playoff talk nobody cares about because it's regular season. I honestly believe that Walker Buehler is a second half pitcher. I honestly believe that he's one of those pitchers where, especially coming from the Dodgers, he has to play for something. Now I think give him a rivalry, give him something to look forward to. That's what Walker Buehler is a pitcher where there has to be something on the line for him to pitch his best. When it's a nonchalant regular season, he's just gonna pitch nonchalant. But when he's focused on like a certain goal or there's something that really needs to get done, that's the Walker Buehler. But when is that guy gonna show up? That's the question. Yeah, so that's that. Alright, let's get back to that. Yeah, so since the Red Sox had a doubleheader, I might drop another video later on today. So you might get a double podcast today. Yeah, I think I might do that. So this is just episode 1. We focus on the first game, not the second one, the first game. So let's do a quick recap. We went 5-3. We had 8 hits, 5 runs. We had no home runs. The team played perfect small ball today. Now let's end off on a good note. What did I like about the Red Sox in the first game of the doubleheader was, like I said earlier, they didn't have any home runs, but they got the job done. Sacrifice flies, advancing the runners, decent pitching, solid defense, which could have been better. So the first doubleheader, congratulations to the Red Sox. Shout out to Ryan Bayo. Let's shout out to Roman Anthony. We got Carlos Navarez. Who's the MVP of that game? So stay tuned and let's find out what happens on the doubleheader of this podcast as we explore the second half of the game. Yeah, so if you want to tune into that, make sure you get there. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Red Sox Rant Room.